This is the last time I'm responding to comments like these.
And I wanted to show people how a dad should be, how a dad should be with their daughter. That's when we started doing the, huge hugs and always holding with our arms around each other. It was our signature, it was the way we were. And I didn't want to stop that because I felt like it was giving into trolls.
I'm fine. I am happy. The problem is, you probably won't believe me, but I don't care. I've said it before and I will say it again. My life is my choice. I don't need to change how I live and interact with my family because a bunch of strangers on the internet think it's weird. I am definitely not racist. I don't see color. I never have. All of us are created in God's image regardless of race.
I try to be a good dad, and the fact that people are saying I'm a good dad is really nice to hear.
Yes, my brothers were convicted of sex offenders. That's their problem, not mine. Okay, yes, I still talk to my brothers. They're my brothers. Hello. I mean, I don't condone their crimes, but you don't abandon family.
These people went from like a lol cow, an LOL cow, whatever you want to call it, to sinister.
Hey humans, it's Hannah. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about another very, very disturbing TikTok account. And this account is rightfully creeping everybody out. This is not an ARG. This is not Ragebait. This is actually a pretty serious situation with a lot of accusations and serious allegations going around that I would really like to dive into today, see what we think is real, what's not, how bad this really is, if there's merit to the rumors, etc. Today, we are talking about the dad-daughter dream team on TikTok who have gotten in quite a bit of controversy lately for just how weirdly close the family is, particularly the daughter and the dad. There's a lot more to this account and this whole lore than people even realize, and I will just say this video might not be for everybody. This video is going to be disturbing for some, and especially if you're dealing with CPTSD at this moment, I would consider whether you want to watch this video or at least proceed with caution. You guys know I could not make these videos without the support of my sponsors. Watching the ads really help, so if you could hold tight just a minute, I'll be right back. A lot of people know that my personal style is either fairy princess or like super gothic emo. There is no in between. I'm sure a lot of my fellow women out there can understand this. And I believe that every single thing that you put on your body to express yourself should be your style, and that includes glasses. That's right, did you know that your glasses can actually be customized without having to buy 6 different pairs of them? And that is why I'm so excited to introduce today's sponsor, which is Pair Eyewear. Fun fact, I actually have 20/20 vision, so Pair Eyewear is not just for those who need a prescription, although of course they do that too. I use blue light glasses like 99% of the time since my job is on my bright screened laptop, and I've been using blue light for years at this point. And Pair Eyewear can do blue light glasses, sunglasses, and prescriptions. So in this case, I store actually 4 pairs of eyewear. First, you go to the website and pick out what base frames you want. So they have a virtual try-on tool, which is super quick and easy to use. And honestly, it's so much fun. I couldn't decide and I just kept trying on every single one. It was a blast. I ended up getting the Murphy style base frame and I got the blue light filter in them. And then the fun part comes when you get to go to the other part of the website where you pick out your toppers. So this is the purple reflective sun top, and it turns my blue light glasses into sunglasses in less than 2 seconds. If I'm feeling a little spicier that day and I want my cheetah spots frames, I could just switch it out from there, from the same case. When I'm just working and I need blue light, I either wear these, or if I'm feeling more of the fairy princess side rather than the gothic emo side, I get out these beautiful like periwinkle ones, which are called the Orchid. Pair eyewear is super affordable. They're super easy to order. It's super easy to submit your prescription as well. And just the customized possibilities are endless. It's so much fun just perusing the website. If you want to try pair eyewear for yourself, there's a link at the top of the description right below this video, or you can scan the QR code on screen right now for 15% off your first pair. Use my link for 15% off of your first pair. Thank you again so much to Pair Eyewear for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get into it. I do want to start off by saying everything I don't show directly on screen is alleged. There is a lot that's just proven, that's just straight up we have video of it, but anything else I do still want to be very careful because we are talking about life-ruining accusations here. So let's get into this whole nightmare. Let me introduce you first to the Dad-Daughter Dream Team on TikTok. You might have actually heard of them before. A lot of people do know them for a very viral video back a couple years ago. It went so viral. Everybody was talking about this at the time that people were talking about this topic in general. And that is the dads giving their daughters, their young adult daughters, purity rings. So we're just going to watch that clip first. This is not the original. This is a repost because they have, of course, deleted this video. It's long gone, so there's only reposts of it.
Please don't go anywhere. Stop scrolling. All right. So I am about to give Sarah a purity ring, but I'm going to do it in a very special way. I'm actually going to make it look like a marriage proposal. Now, don't get the wrong idea. It's not a marriage proposal. Okay. This is just, I'm very grateful that she has remained pure to this point and is continuing to remain pure. And I want to give this to her as a sign that I'm proud of her. But there it is. She's going to love it. Okay, so let's go get Sarah. Okay. Sarah, I need you to get up, honey. Okay. Just don't worry about it.
Yeah. Okay. I was trying to read a book.
Yes?
What are you doing?
You're about to find out.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, first of all, okay, you're 20 years old.
Yeah.
Okay. And most kids your age are not pure. They're not really pure.
Sad but true.
Well, I want to thank you for remaining pure.
Okay.
Okay? And I want to give you something.
What?
I want to give you something.
Okay.
Okay? So, Sarah.
Yeah. What are you doing? What? What is this?
Sarah, will you wear this ring as a sign and a promise to God and to me to remain pure until the day you're married?
Yes. That is gorgeous.
In your left hand. Okay. This ring will remain on your left ring finger until the day your husband puts another ring there in its place.
Okay.
As a sign that you will remain pure.
Nice.
I love you.
I love you too.
That's sweet, girl.
So right off the bat, there's a lot going on here. First, I'd like to mention that this is an account that is no longer here. This is from just a dad and his ladybug is what their account used to be called. And as far as I know, that account has been either privated or deleted, something. It's not available anymore. A lot of people pointed out how uncomfortable Sarah looked. Like, again, just looking at body language, which is not a science, but just she's got her arms crossed. Her feet, if you noticed, are pointed in towards each other, just like she's kind of nervous. And she's like, what are you doing? She just seems kind of uncomfortable. The thing on screen said that it's a 1-bedroom apartment and that she has a younger brother who's like a really young teenager. And they all sleep in that 1 bedroom together, which I don't know if that's true or not. Given all the other rumors about them and the stuff that is true, that wouldn't surprise me. But just a lot of weird stuff going on. A lot of people calling it weird and creepy. The other thing people found out was that the ring that he got her was from Walmart or it was a very cheap ring. So I did look this up. It's like a $35 ring. Now that part does not bother me. not everybody has the money to buy $10,000 rings, especially for something that's not for a lifelong marriage. But that's just something that a lot of people point out. This is weird and creepy. I do agree with the criticism, but I'm going to table this for now because we're going to circle back around to this later after we watch some of their other videos. So the main account then starts, the one that we're talking about today, called Dad and Daughter Dream Team. They have had other accounts. Sarah has her own account as well, but this is the main one that people refer to for all of the videos. Now let me introduce you to who we have. So this is Sarah. This is the daughter. Even though she looks very young, she is not a minor. That is very important. That's why I'm showing her face and everything. She's 20 years old when all this starts. She is now going to turn 23 in June, I believe, if my math is correct, but she is not a minor. So then we have Patrick. He is the other main character of today's video, if you want to call him that. They're not characters, they're real people though. This is Patrick. He's the dad. He's in his early 40s. We then have Mom, whose name is Teresa. That's her. We're not going to see her a ton, but she does play a part in this whole thing. And then we have their son, Hunter, who is 12 years old when all this started, and so he is currently like 14 years old. And I will not be showing videos with Hunter in it. He is involved in this account, but obviously he's a minor, has no say in all of this, and I do not want to put him in this video at all. So that's the family. The first video on this account, the Dad and Daughter Dream Team account, was on May 4th, 2023. So pretty much exactly 2 years ago. The first 6 videos were clearly batch filmed. They go to parks. This is kind of their formula. They go to a park in their area and they batch film a bunch of dance trends or lip syncing trends, and then they post them in TikToks over the next couple days. In terms of creepiness factor, nothing really seems off in these first few videos. It really does seem like just a dad and daughter making TikToks together and having fun. There's clearly somebody filming them, so they're not alone. It's not like they're Charli D'Amelio dancers with like everything perfectly on the beat. They're clearly just having fun and want to bring positivity. It's impossible not to mention that they're a little awkward. You can tell that maybe they are just a little socially awkward and maybe they're not super comfortable. It is really uncomfy to be in front of a camera for anybody, especially if they're not used to it. But it's not a secret that they're kind of socially awkward and that they do come off just a little awkward. And I will say now that that has nothing to do with this in the end. We will talk about that later as well. But like, yeah, it is. Like, I think we can call that, and there's nothing wrong with being awkward. The other thing that people already kind of noticed is that Sarah looks a little uncomfortable. Now, this could also be social awkwardness, right? Like if you're awkward, you might look uncomfortable in a situation where you're not actually uncomfortable, or that's just kind of your normal. So I do think it's a little unfair to judge, but we do kind of notice that she looks tired. But if this had come across my For You page, I wouldn't have thought twice. A lot of people at this point leaving comments about how cute they are, how they didn't grow up with the dad and they wished that they had a dad like this or a dad at all, and just how this is how dads should be and how beautiful it is that they're such a close family, that their adult daughter still wants to do these kinds of things with her parents. And that is a trend on TikTok. That is a thing. That's actually really cute in a lot of cases where Gen X and boomer generations are taking part in TikTok trends and doing fun little things on their kids' TikToks with them and doing the dances and stuff. It's very funny. It's a whole kind of niche, and it's honestly just fun to watch the older generations try to participate and connect with the younger generations. And I think at first a lot of people kind of thought that's all this was, is that a dad kind of being like self-aware that he looks goofy, but like doing stuff that the younger generations are doing, if that makes sense. On May 8th, 2023, only 4 days into this account's creation, they post their first video where they actually address the camera. Here's that video.
Hello everyone, I'm Sarah and this is my dad Patrick.
We love to dance together.
And lip sync.
And get a little crazy sometimes.
We do that normally.
You call me crazy?
If the shoe fits.
True. Anyway, we want to share that love with all of you.
And we're super close too, so this is easy for us.
So enjoy the content.
And let's all have fun together.
Something I noticed right away, which looking at the comments, other people noticed this too. In this video, Sarah kind of seems to lean away from her dad. He kind of feels like he's invading her space a little bit and kind of towering over her, and she's kind of like subconsciously leaning away. I don't think she means to. This made people feel like Sarah was nervous and possibly not in a safe situation, and that's where the comments of like blink twice kind of thing started. Huge caveat here though. I want to be very clear that body language experts, we've pretty much proven those aren't a thing. People that think they're body language experts get it wrong all the time. While I do believe it's valuable to read body language in some cases, it's not evidence or proof of anything. And again, this might sincerely just be the natural awkwardness, you know? Also on May 8th, Dad posts a video saying thank you guys so much for the support and all the kind comments, but he does call out the negative comments.
Okay, this is just the latest in a long line of comments that are saying stuff like this, and I want to thank you all so much for the love, and I love y'all guys too. I try to be a good dad, and the fact that people are saying I'm a good dad is really nice to hear. But really, it's easy with Sarah. We're almost exactly the same, so we work well together. And I want to thank you all for the great comments. I know there's still some comments out there that are saying, oh, this is a little off, or blink 3 times if whatever. I don't care. These aren't going to affect us. They're not going to affect this channel. We're going to still bring you the dance trends that you love. We're going to still bring you the lip syncs that you love. So follow us and watch us grow and watch this channel just blow up.
They then post this video that says, we're going viral. And it's because one of their videos reached 8,000 views, which I don't consider that viral. I consider viral at least a few 100,000 views, if not more like millions of views, especially on TikTok, where anybody can go viral and a video with millions of views is somewhat common. I don't consider 8,000 views viral, but they're really excited, and I totally understand that.
Viral!
We've got over 8,000 views on our introduction video, and I'm actually about to go to work, but I had to make this quick video and thank everyone for the views and the follows and the likes. I literally can't believe this. Thank you so much.
We are having a blast with these dance trends, and the fact that you all love them is just making us want to do them more. So keep following and keep looking for more videos. I can't wait to see where we go from here.
But the reason I point that out is because this account is only a couple days old. They've reached 8,000 views, which is it's just not that many. It's a small amount of views for TikTok. They are so small still, and they are already addressing negative comments, trolls, haters. People are already talking about how uncomfortable Sarah looks and how something feels off. They're already getting enough of these types of comments that they're making clapback videos. May 9th, 2023, the next day, is where I do start to pause a little bit. Up until this point, everything has seemed fairly innocent. They are singing a duet from High School Musical, the first High School Musical movie. They're singing one of the end songs, Breaking Free, where Troy and Gabriella, who are young teenagers, like falling in love, they're totally infatuated with each other in a romantic way. And Sarah and Patrick are duetting this. They're lip syncing to this. To be fair to them, it makes it look a lot more awkward when I have to take the sound out, because all the sounds they use are going to be copyrighted. So I do have to take the sound out. So to be fair to them, it does look extra awkward because of that. But Sarah and Patrick are singing a romantic song about a romantic couple. They're holding hands and they're pretty much making deep eye contact the entire song. I would consider this getting into strange territory. Now, as we talk about this account, it's impossible to not compare this to our own relationship with our dads. And a lot of people who have healthy relationships with their dads are calling this out in particular, and I'm gonna go ahead and get on that boat as well. My dad is a genuinely good dad. He has never done anything questionable to me growing up or now. Literally in no way, shape, or form. We are very different people. We've never been extremely close. However, we do get along. I'm in contact with my parents and I do see them frequently. Like, people would call us a pretty close family. Watching this creeps me out. My dad would never look at me like this. I would never look at him like this, but he would never look at me like this. This is a look that I have only seen him give to my mother. Like, he looks at my mom like this because he's in love with her, but he has never given, there's just that like doe-eyed romantic look that you see people in love give each other. And like, he's giving her that look, in my opinion. It creeps me out watching it. May 12th, 2023, Sarah posts a little video asking for money and support, basically. She's saying that my birthday is next month, June 2023, when she'll be turning 21, again confirming that she is not a minor. And she said that it would mean a lot if people bought their merch and like supported the channel and stuff like that, so that they would have the finances for Patrick to take Sarah on a camping trip to New Hampshire to see all the places that he grew up. No mention of if the other family members were coming with them, if mom and her and brother were coming with them, I'm not sure. Later that day, they do a mom reveal, and this is important to the lore because a lot of people were being creeped out, and then they were like, where's your mother? And so they did a mom reveal. Mom is there. She's often holding the camera. She's often filming them do all these dances and everything. And mom just explains that she's there. She's helping them. She's supportive of them. She loves that they're doing the TikTok. She wants to help them, but she just doesn't like being on camera. She's awkward on camera. She does not enjoy it. Completely fair. But something else happens in this video that I wanted to point out. So watch this.
Hello everyone. So we've been getting a lot of questions like this. Where's mom? Mom reveal. Here she is. This is my mother. Her and my dad have been married for 22 years. They are very happy. She just doesn't like appearing on camera very often.
Hi guys. Yeah, I don't like being in front of cameras, but I'm behind the camera. I'm with them all the time. I'm supporting them, and I have a part in it too. So yeah, you finally got to see me, and here I am.
So yeah, there's nothing else but dance trends and fun going on here. I promise. So if you like dance trends and you like, sometimes we even do lip syncs. If you like that, follow us.
How strange is that last part? Why does Sarah feel the need to tack on at the end that nothing strange is going on here, only TikTok trends and dance trends? I promise. Usually people don't have to keep saying that nothing's going on. If it was completely innocent content, why are you telling us that? Again, just to jump ahead a tiny bit, I will be talking later about how I personally believe Sarah is the victim in this case. I don't think Sarah's done anything wrong in terms of the TikToks themselves. We'll get to the other problematic things Sarah has done, but in terms of just her dad and her family, I personally do think that she is a victim. So we are going to talk about that later. So just hold your horses if you're like, Hannah, this feels very victim blamey, because I'm definitely not doing that. I think that she is regurgitating what she's been told to say. But my point in this part is, why go out of your way to deny it so hard if there's no merit to the rumors? Okay, let's move on. So somebody in their comments earlier had suggested they do a dunk challenge where you get a bucket of ice and you ask each other questions, and if the other person asks questions about them and if they get it wrong, you get to dunk their face in ice. And again, to be fair, they first started with Sarah doing this to Patrick, so she did have her hand on the back of his neck and got to push him into the water and stuff. But then they posted a video of it the other way around with Patrick dunking Sarah, and this video made me so uncomfy. I'm sorry, but why are you petting her? The way that his hand is on the back of her neck, I hate this. I hate this clip. If my dad just came up to me and started stroking my hair or had his hand on the back of my neck, I would think, even in this context, I would think a clone had taken his place. Maybe my mom or dad used to rub my back when I was a little kid to comfort me or to get me to fall asleep, but pretty much after I turned like teenage age, we give each other consensual hugs and kisses on the cheek when we're either leaving or saying hello, like not throughout the day. On May 20th, 2023, she posts her first video legitimately frustrated and seemingly very annoyed with the audience.
So me and my family are out hiking right now, and we saw this comment and had to respond. But this is the last time I'm responding to comments like these. I post all the videos. I read every comment that you guys post. No, I don't need help. I'm perfectly fine. This is my father. We're doing dance trends and other trends on TikTok. There's absolutely nothing going on here. I don't need help. I'm fine. So just please stop commenting this stuff. I'm fine. You don't have to worry about me. I'm perfectly safe.
I 1000% sympathize with Sarah here. I understand why she's frustrated. I would be really frustrated too, actually. And I think she has every right to be frustrated. I think that her feelings are very valid. Here's kind of where we go back to the whole victim blaming thing. And that is that most people are not blaming Sarah for any of this. She's acting like we're saying that she's secretly being chained up in a basement by her parents or something and being held captive. And I don't think that's what most people, including myself, are saying at all. From Sarah's point of view, nothing is going on. From Sarah's point of view, because she's not being chained up in a basement, she doesn't understand where the backlash is coming from, because this is normal to her. Because from her point of view, she's been raised from a young age for this type of contact to be normal. She's been trained and some would say allegedly groomed. I'm not saying that for sure. We don't know for sure, of course. But some people would say that if she was groomed, then of course nothing would seem wrong. And also, abuse can look many different ways. I mean, look at the video they posted before this one. They are dancing like a couple. If you didn't know that this was a dad and daughter, you would think they were romantically involved. Her frustration is very valid, but people's concerns are also valid. I do think the vast majority of people, there are trolls, but I do think the vast majority of people are just like genuinely concerned. But from her perspective, she is fine and she is genuinely happy. And if you do look at some of her other videos, she does look odd. Like, you cannot deny it. She looks exhausted. She has really dark circles under her eyes. She's kind of staring blankly a lot of the time. Her affect is like jaded and almost like she's disassociating a lot. So I think that's where a lot of the concern is coming from, is that these weird, no boundary touching thing, the romantic songs, all of that combined with her looking uncomfortable and exhausted and like she's been coping with this and like she's been using survival tactics for years, and it's very exhausting. Again, I would like to point out that we don't know this for sure though. The dark circles under her eyes might just be her skin. Like, it might just be pigmentation or just her skin, right? And the other body language could just be social awkwardness. But I do also understand where the concern is coming from. I am concerned too. Now, moving on with the actual account. Patrick picks out a lot of Sarah's clothes, and I found this out through comments, unfortunately for me. So a lot of people ask Sarah like, oh, where'd you get your dress from? It's so cute. And she has responded to people saying that her dad picks out her clothes. And one comment even said that her dad picks out most of her clothes for her. So does that mean those high-heeled lace-up white boots you're wearing in a lot of videos? Did he pick those out for you too? This is just weird. Can you imagine as an adult? Like, this is not a single dad with a 12-year-old girl helping her find dresses. This is an adult woman, and her 40-something-year-old dad is buying her dresses and picking out her clothes. I mean, what is this? and this, like literally, and this, they literally act like a couple. They are acting like a couple. Here's a video that I can't play the audio to, again, for copyright reasons, but they're lip syncing You're the One That I Want from Greece to each other. So he lip syncs to her. I got chills. They're multiplying and I'm losing control because the power you're supplying, it's electrifying. She sings back to him, you better shape up because I need a man and my heart is set on you. You better shape up. You better understand. To my heart, I must be true. Nothing left for me to do. You're the one that I want. The one that I want. Oh, 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 honey. This song is about lovers. Most of you have seen Grease, right? That entire movie is about Danny wanting to bang Sandy, and she changes herself in the end for a man.
No matter where I go, no matter what I do, you'll always be a part of me and me a part of you. I want to give you everything in this entire world, just because I love you, my sweet baby girl. And now the time is almost...
At the beginning of July 2023, they post about how their account has surpassed 10,000 followers. Something else I noticed on their page is that they start out a lot of their videos in a cuddly, touchy pose that is unnecessary for the song. Now, mind you, it would be odd regardless, but I just cannot help but point this out. They're in like a romantic looking pose or they hug in a weird way and then they go on with the rest of the video without touching the rest of the video. So the first 2 seconds you see them hugging like a couple, which feels like rage bait to a lot of people because it's like, why add that in? Why not just cut that part out and play the rest of the dance where you're not touching and being fairly somewhat innocent? Like, why add that first piece in the beginning? It's like they are rage baiting because they know that gets more engagement, but I don't think that's what they're actually doing. I think they honestly just think that's normal. And people are telling them what feels odd and creepy, and yet they keep making videos then defending themselves and getting mad at the trolls and the haters.
I see what the problem is here. I'm talking in English and you're listening in dumbass.
Okay, so you want to know why I look so uncomfortable in the videos? Well, I'm about to tell you. So listen and listen good. Number 1, I'm not underage. I'm almost 21. I will be 21 on Friday, so you people can stop telling me that I'm underage. Number 2, I am not looking for any sort of relationship on TikTok or anywhere else for that matter. I'm focused on myself, my schooling, and my career. My social media is not available to anybody, so you can stop asking. Number 3, my father is not creepy, weird, or doing anything he's not supposed to do. He's being a father. If you don't like that, you can leave. I love him, he loves me, we're doing something we love together, so you can stop making horrible accusations that are not true in the slightest.
They're frustrated with the rumors and the negative comments and they keep denying it through their teeth, but then at the same time they keep posting more and more videos like this. A couple months later in September 2023, the account reaches 30,000 followers. The account is currently at like 46,000 followers, I think. So it has grown since then, but not a ton. Now that you've gotten the gist of the account, we've looked at a lot of the early videos. We are going to go ahead and jump ahead because there's hundreds of videos very similar to what you've just seen. And I want to be, again, try to be as fair as possible to say that there are very genuinely innocent videos. There are videos where they post cooking. There's videos where they post with the little brother, with the minor brother, with the mom, where mom does try really hard to do some of the trends with them as well. It's not all just them. They do post a lot of innocent videos in between, a lot of the more problematic videos. So jump ahead about 6 to 7 months ahead to May 2024, about 1 year after the channel was started and hundreds of videos later, their channel's deleted. For whatever reason, their channel gets deleted / deactivated, I believe by TikTok, because they have alluded to people getting them banned during this time and they think it's gone. But then, to many people's surprise, which is why this is being resurrected in 2025, on February 1st of this year, they post a video saying they're back after almost a year of being gone.
The Dream Team is back.
It's funny because
Yeah.
I can't believe how this happened, okay? I was actually trying to create the new Dream Team account like we announced on Sarah's channel. And when I was trying to create the new Dream Team account, I was going to use the same email because I thought it was deleted a year ago.
Yeah, like we deleted it, so we thought it was gone. We
Yeah.
didn't have any chance of getting it back.
Exactly.
They have all their followers and all their views still, to their surprise. Now, they weren't gone. Sarah, like we said, has her own TikTok account that is just devoted to her. I believe she was posting during this time still, but the Dad-Daughter Dream Team account had disappeared for almost a year. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the 2025 return of the Dad and Daughter Dream Team. A lot of this very similar things, except Sarah looks a little bit older. She looks like she's more kind of coming into herself and her style. I will just say, this hair, she changes her hair in 2025. Girl, this slays. You look so good. She is, I will just admit, and I don't mean this in a weird way whatsoever, but Sarah is just adorable. She's very cute. Her hair, this is a glow up. Her hair looks so pretty. That dark red complements her so well. It looks so good. And I don't point that out for no reason. The reason I point that out is because it just makes the whole thing so much sadder that it feels like she really wants to be an individual very deep down, and she would thrive if she left that house. She would thrive if she could find her own friends and relationships and stuff and really have a fun time and live out her 20s the way people should, which is, yes, you should, if you like your family, you should be with your origin family if they're a good family and you want to be with them, but not all the time, not allegedly sleeping in the same bed with them. You should be out either in college or drinking and having fun with your friends. And this really cute hair of hers just makes me sad because it makes me feel like she would just thrive outside of the house. Anyway, with the return of their content in 2025, though, of course, the rumors all returned as well, except now they seem to have come back with a vengeance. And with all those rumors, Sarah and Patrick continue to post videos addressing the haters and defending their content, even though they seemingly keep saying that, like, we're gonna stop addressing this is the last time, we're gonna defend ourselves, yada yada yada, but then they continue to post these videos.
We saw this comment and had to respond, but this is the last time I'm responding to comments like these.
I did not mean to push all of your buttons. I was just looking for the mute.
So watch this video I'm about to play, where it's several minutes long. Their arms are wrapped around each other the entire time while they're explaining why they're touching all the time.
So we got a lot of questions on our comments on our last video. Well, not our last video, but the
video we did thanking everybody for the support.
Right, the thank you for the support. We got a lot of comments on that, and I know we promised that we're not going to address trolls anymore, but I don't think it's all trolls. I think there's people out there that legitimately don't understand.
Yeah, and we want to address it for those who legitimately don't understand. Like, we don't care what the trolls think, but for people that are genuinely curious, we want to answer those questions.
So we're always hugging, and holding hands, touching. This is the way our family operates. Now, a lot of people have said, I don't see you touch your wife like that much, or your son. Well, that's because they're not on camera all the time. We are.
Yeah.
I assure you that during the course of the day, I hug Hunter several times, my wife quite a lot.
Literally, when him and Hunter are playing games, Hunter will literally just randomly get up and hug him.
Yeah.
And he'll do the same.
Yeah, we are a family that loves to hug and touch and hold hands. I hold hands with my wife. I hold hands with Hunter. She does
I hold hands with Hunter. I hold hands with Mom. I hold hands with him.
This is how our family dynamic is. And honestly, the fact that so many people find it weird, it may be to you. And if that's your family dynamic, then fine. Some people said, I don't hold my dad's hand. Well, that's your business.
That's your choice. That's how we show our affection.
Every single one of the members of our family is physical touch, love language.
Yeah.
We're always hugging, holding hands. People have seen her on live with her hand on my arm, rubbing my arm. It's just a show of affection. There's nothing wrong with it.
The comments were not having it. The comments were not convinced. Someone commented, if it's innocent, why is there a 5-minute video justifying it, LOL? Someone else said, in my opinion, I feel that loving your family is completely different than constantly touching your family member. And I do agree with both of those sentiments. Other comments are just saying stuff like, are you trying to convince us or yourself? Again, I have to agree. But again, to be fair to them, there are plenty of comments that are innocent, just calling them cute, smiley faces, hearts, saying, I would love to meet you guys, or I love how close your family is, and stuff like that. She continues to post defensive videos about this. She's seemingly pretty fed up with it. So let's watch another one of those.
I'm fine. I am happy. The problem is, you probably won't believe me, but I don't care. I've said it before and I will say it again. My life is my choice. I don't need to change how I live and interact with my family because a bunch of strangers on the internet think it's weird. Yes, we post content online, and yes, that opens us up to criticism, but that doesn't mean we have to listen to you or do what you say. The biggest problem is you barely see 2 to 5 minutes of our lives every day and you think you have it all figured out. We are always out and about at parks, in stores, at theme parks, and acting the very same way we do on camera, and no one ever asks if I'm okay. In fact, they laugh along with us and compliment us on how close we are. So now, there are people who are so obsessed with our lives that they have to try and sabotage me and my dad by messaging other creators and telling them lies just to get us to shut down again. They have a problem, not us. Then they expect us to try and explain ourselves, but when we do, it's either forced or they twist it, so why even bother? I'm not going to explain why I choose to live the way I do. I'm just letting you all know that I'm completely fine and I love my life. Believe me or not, that's your choice. So now, I'm going to go back to living my best life and posting the content that our followers love. I hope you enjoy watching. Please continue to watch us grow. We will be here having fun and being happy. So, until next time, remember to stay positive and have an amazing day.
And again, I want to reiterate that I would be frustrated too. I do understand where her frustration is coming from because to her, she doesn't understand what we're saying. Now, with their resurgence in 2025, with the ongoing rumors, their account's views has skyrocketed. They're not in the millions or anything, but the first couple hundred videos from 2023, 2024, they were getting anywhere from usually, like, I saw an average of, I scrolled through their entire account, I saw anywhere from 5,000 to maybe a better performing video going anywhere from to 20,000. And now posting in 2025, their views are anywhere from, they usually get minimum at least 50,000 to 100,000, and then a good amount of videos getting several 100,000 views. And I just can't help but think that it's because of the spread of the rumors going around. It's really hard to believe that many people are just genuinely enjoying a 40-year-old man dancing with his 20-year-old daughter. But that's just an opinion. That's a feeling. There's no evidence of that. So anyway, the next point is, why is Sarah the one who keeps defending it? It feels like Dad is defending it some, but that also just feels odd that she seems to be more frequently the one who goes on solo and defends them and also reassures people, I'm fine, I'm happy. It's either Sarah and him in the video or just Sarah in the video. And other people noticed that too. And that just seemed really intentional to a lot of people because it feels like if Dad tried to defend himself, nobody would believe it. They would be like, well, we want to see Sarah. We want to see Sarah say that she's okay. And again, I can understand her frustration because when she does say she's okay and gives people what they say they want, they still don't believe her. But then that also is like, why do you keep defending it if it's so innocent? And then we come to the most recent, really, video defense that she posted on April 12th, just last month, a few weeks ago. She adamantly and seemingly, she seems angry, in my opinion, telling us that nothing is going on. Her dad would never do that.
Okay, so apparently I have to spell it out for you guys. I thought I was pretty clear when I said people were spreading lies, but apparently I need to be specific for the low intelligence people in the room. Pay attention because after this we go back to posting our regular content and anyone who doesn't like it can touch grass. We will not keep addressing this shit. I am not in an inappropriate relationship with my dad. We are father and daughter and we are close, nothing more. I wear a purity ring and I take it very seriously. Only my future husband will ever have me in that way. Furthermore, he is my dad and he would never, ever do something like that, ever.
Okay, this is going to be a very sensitive part of the video as I explain this, and I'm going to be very, very careful, but I also don't want to skirt around this because I feel like it's still really important to talk about for any victim. And just because it's a very uncomfortable thing to say out loud, I don't want to just not say it because I think it can help somebody. Abuse, whether it's physical, emotional, or sexual, does not always look like it does in the movies. It doesn't always look the way that we see it depicted in media or the way that people talk about it even in school. Abuse and mistreatment, I'm not talking particularly about them. I'm talking in general. I'm talking anybody. Abuse and mistreatment can look many different ways, and it's not always overt. Most of us are not saying that for Sarah, the worst, if you know what I mean, the worst is going on. And that means she, we're not saying she's being chained up in a basement. She's acting like we're saying that she's chained up in a basement, and like I think that's why she is so frustrated, because we're acting like she's literally being held captive there, which I don't think she is either. I think she's genuinely telling the truth when she says that. And it also doesn't mean that, again, like we see the worst of the worst depicted in media, it's not like her dad is, I'm so sorry to say this is so triggering, just an FYI, this is going to be a triggering sentence, but it doesn't mean her dad's sneaking into her room at night. We are not accusing him of overtly essaying her. Most of us are actually not saying that at all. And again, that's a huge accusation too. So I would not say that ever, because I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So I do think people need to stay wary of that. But we're saying in a situation where it's possible something nefarious is going on, it doesn't mean we're saying that he is just straight up essaying you. We're saying that your family dynamics and boundaries are not normal and that something feels wrong from a lot of people who have experienced it and a lot of people who haven't experienced it and think that it's weird. Do a lot of people out there believe that they are actually in a sexual relationship? Yes, there's a lot of people accusing them of that, which I do think is wrong, because if there's no merit to that, you are really, really fucking up somebody's life if there's no merit. What if you're wrong, And a lot of people are speculating that that is what's going on here. And I just don't think that's fair without any evidence that they're actually in a full-blown incestuous physical relationship. And I am actually saying in this video that I personally don't think that's what's going on. I think if something like that were going on, she wouldn't be so adamantly defending it. I think if something like that were going on, it would be so blatant and black and white that it was wrong that she wouldn't go out of her way to defend it so much. And I don't think they'd be putting this on TikTok at all. I think it's way more subtle than that. And I don't think it's overt, because that is why she's not understanding people's concerns. She's saying, I'm happy, healthy, I'm close with my family. What is the problem? I'm an adult. I can make my own decisions. And yes, you are. I do agree. But I think from Patrick's point of view, again, if hypothetically Patrick is who we think and who we speculate he is, if that is true, because we don't know that for sure, but if it is true, it seems plausible that he would be doing stuff that would be easy to, quote, misinterpret, and that would be easy for him to gaslight us and his family into thinking is normal. So him covering it with, this is how close families are, real, actual good dads are this close with their daughters. Do families that are touchy-feely are just, that's their love language. Physical touch is just their love language, and that's what we like to do, and that's how we show affection. Maybe dad even thinks this behavior is normal, which we will get to that as well, but maybe dad even thinks that this is normal, and he doesn't understand that it's wrong. Like, genuinely, I'm not saying that that makes it okay. I'm not saying that he's not responsible for his actions, but like, maybe genuinely he doesn't think that that's wrong. And again, hold tight, because we will talk about that, his other family members, in a moment, if you are familiar with this whole saga. But if that's the case and he raised his children to believe that this is completely normal, this is what healthy families do, this is what real loving parents do, and those other families who say that it's weird just didn't have loving parents, they just don't understand because they never had close relationships with their parents. And if you were raised like that from birth, then yeah, if you were a kid, you would think that was completely normal. Someone commented this even. When you're groomed, you don't think that what you're doing is wrong. That's the point that people are trying to make here. Someone else said, you're a victim. It's not your fault. And another person said, I'm a dad of 4 girls and 2 boys, and no dad should be that close to their daughters. So many people trying to convince Sarah that, like, we're not blaming you. We're not mad at you. We're just trying to help you see this from another perspective. Okay, on April 20th, Dad posts a video saying that he's going to take a step back from the channel.
So I think it's time for me to take a little bit of a break. Been going really hard these past couple weeks. As you know, there's been a lot of controversy, a lot of bull crap. But I think it's time that I step back a little bit. Working on another game, and with Sarah and I writing the book right now, trying to get release date coming May or June. Plus working full time, it's been a little bit of a struggle. And I'll be honest, it's kind of taken a toll on me mentally.
He claims that he's taking a break because he's working on a video game. Sarah and him wrote a book together, like they're working on other stuff, and he needs to take a break from the channel, so he has time for that, but that he might show up in an occasional cooking video. But a lot of people, me as well, think it's kind of suspicious. Like, why do you need to take a break? It feels like it is because he's getting a ton of backlash and he feels like he needs to take a break from the channel, that it's kind of getting to him. And we're all kind of like, okay, well, if none of it's true, if everything is so innocent, why do you need to step away? But don't worry, his break lasted all of 6 days and he returned on April 26th. They made a very creative video of him, again, defending himself and denying all the accusations.
Okay, so break's over. I'm back. You know, I was trying to take a break, take a step back, kind of, you know, let things cool off. But apparently that's not going to happen. People just love coming after us. And apparently this commenter here thinks that I should defend myself. Don't know what I'm defending myself from, because there's really nothing that's even close to wrong. But I guess, I gotta say it. Stupid, but I gotta say it. Okay, so let me be clear. All right, there is not now, nor has there ever been, nor will there ever be any kind of sexual, romantic, or other inappropriate relationship with my daughter. The fact that I have to say that out loud is ridiculous. Okay? And I get it. There are people, fathers who have done that. There are people who have done that. And it's disgusting and it's wrong. That's not me. So stop trying to project it onto me. Okay? I get it. People see things the way we are with each other, the way she holds my arm, whatever. They see it as a certain way. Okay, that comes from their point of view. That has nothing to do with the way it's intended. That has nothing to do with the way we have ever intended it.
He says that he made this account because he wanted to show us what a dad should be like with their daughter.
And I wanted to show people how a dad should be, how a dad should be with their daughter. That's when we started doing the, huge hugs and always holding with our arms around each other. It was our signature. It was the way we were. And I didn't want to stop that because I felt like it was giving in to trolls. But there are people online that are seeing it and they're getting the wrong idea. And in fact, one creator said that it might actually be detrimental to somebody who's going through that. And
That's never been our intention.
But he also goes on to say in this video that he and Sarah from now on will stop touching and hugging in the videos.
So we're going to back off of that. Okay. We're still close. We're still going to be together. We're still going to be doing this together, but we're not going to have to do all the hugging. We'll stand separately when we talk. We'll do all that so that it doesn't appear to be a problem. And you know, that's something we should have done. And I'm sorry. Sorry if everybody got the wrong idea, but hey, we'll take that step back. Okay.
And ever since he posted that, it does feel like they are keeping their word on that. They are still posting a lot of videos when they go places, and they post videos of family, a lot of cooking videos that do really, really well. And they are still posting dad and daughter dance videos and trends, but it is true. They stopped touching in the videos, barely at all. They're pretty much just making like actually innocent content now. And that's not a bad thing, right? Of course it's not. But it also says so much, because it's like, okay, well, that doesn't fix the problem in private. First of all, like, we're still concerned about Sarah. And also, like, yet again, if nothing was happening, if this is all innocent, like you say, then why do you care what people are saying? Okay. So that's the account, right? That was a lot, I understand, but it's not over. It gets so much worse. So now we need to talk about the AI Corn website that Sarah and Patrick allegedly made. To lay the groundwork for this, we are going to watch Emmy Misery, or her @ is EB Misery on TikTok. We're going to watch her video about this, so just brace yourself, and if you're confused, I will explain more.
Remember the Daddy-Daughter Dream Team, the dad that proposed to his daughter with the purity ring, and then they danced to sensual songs and they're always touching? I've been getting messages nonstop that they created an AI spicy account. So I'm like, what? So I go and look, and I do some research, and they did. Back last year, the daughter danced to a song by this girl named Ariella, who, it was an AI song, nobody else had used it, and pretty much the only people that girl was following was the Dream Team. People put 2 and 2 together. Well, that Ariella came back in full force. They created all kinds of accounts for her, including some on spicy websites, a Reddit account, all kinds of stuff, and posted, you know, spicy pictures and videos. You could even, like, request stuff, you know, so they could make some money. Well, when the Redditors put this all together and made a post about it, all of the Ariella content was deleted. If that doesn't scream guilty, I don't know what does. Now let me ask you, would you and your dad make that type of content?
Hi, editing Hannah here. So she kind of skirts over it in the video really, really quickly, and then I don't really explain it that well in the video, so I'm just in here to clarify / make sure everybody understands, because it's a little confusing how people found out about this in the first place. And that is because on Sarah's own account, not the Daddy-Daughter Dream Team account, but Sarah's personal account, she posted her dancing to a song, but nobody had ever danced to that song before, and people figured out it was an AI. It was clearly an AI song. Like, it was very, very obvious. And she just said that, oh, I love this song, and she made a dance to it. But the name of the quote-unquote artist was somebody named Ariella Brigman. And then people look up that, and turns out that the quote-unquote artist who made this AI song was the AI model. And I'm about to explain the rest of the story, but that's how people made the initial connection, is that she was dancing to this song that literally nobody had ever heard of. And they linked the AI quote-unquote artist to this account we're about to talk about. So this all came out because on April 4th of this year, the dad and daughter Dream Team have a snark subreddit. There does in fact seem to be this AI model, so she's not a real person, called Ariella Brigman. She has accounts all over social media, Instagram, all those accounts, but she also has an OF, or I should say had an OF, which I can't imagine that's okay with OF. Like, we shouldn't be able to have an OF account with an AI model, but whatever. So this was posted on Reddit at 4:10 p.m. on April 4th. And at 4:57 p.m., the top comment says, quote, they deleted those accounts so fast. So literally less than an hour after this was posted on the subreddit, the accounts were deleted. This was proof to many people that that meant that Sarah was behind those accounts, because she probably looks at the snark page a lot. And the second that people got wind of this, they deleted the accounts. Now, I don't understand a lot about why there's proof that Patrick was behind these accounts as well. I know it was at least Sarah, but they did write a book together. The book, I believe somebody in the book, one of the characters' names is Ariella, so slightly different than Ariala. It gets spelled differently. And there are also just some odd scenes in that book as well that the dad and daughter wrote together. So again, it wouldn't surprise me, but for the sake of argument, like, even if it's just Sarah making this, yeah, that's concerning for all kinds of reasons. Again, full credit to the Snark Reddit here. They were the investigators in this piece. But if you Google just the name Ariella Brigman and nothing else, nothing about Sarah or Patrick or the Dream Team, just those two words, just that name, Sarah's accounts come up on Google. Like, Sarah's TikTok's accounts come up on Google. Her TikTok account, Made with Love by Sarah, pops up in the top search results. And that made people believe, speculate, allegedly, in my opinion and all that, that meant that the Ariella accounts likely were linked to Sarah's accounts by the same email address. Because why else would Sarah show up when you were Googling something completely different? And I even did try this on a incognito window so that none of my search history was in there and I was completely signed out of my Gmail account. And I put this into Google and yet again, she comes right up. And then on Ariella's Instagram, so the AI model's Instagram account, before it disappeared, people took screenshots. Sarah and her family would like a bunch of the posts from a Corn AI model's account, an OF model. The reason we know this is because if you know anything about Sarah, you know that she wants to be a trainer at SeaWorld. She says many times in her videos that ever since she was 16 and she went to SeaWorld for the first time, she has wanted to be a trainer at SeaWorld. Like, that's her dream job, right? And this AI model who does not have a lot of likes on her posts, well, somebody liked it and the Instagram account was future SeaWorld trainer. So most people believe that that's likely one of Sarah's accounts and liked a spicy A model picture. And other people claimed in the Reddit, although I cannot confirm this because the account has been deleted, the poster deleted, but other people in the comments said that her dad also liked it, and possibly even, I think, the younger brother, but I don't remember exactly. Weird. That's weird. Even if Patrick had nothing to do with this account and he didn't make it, he obviously, again, allegedly knew that it existed and that Sarah made it and stuff. And it's weird. And then a lot of people speculate that Sarah made that account because she is trying to break free. She wants her own identity and everything and doesn't know how to do that. So she tried this to kind of live vicariously through somebody else. Yeah, this is what Sarah had to say about it. This was her defense. And this is the second part of a video we watched a little bit ago.
And finally, there's a rumor going around that my dad and I created an AI that made spicy content on OnlyFans. Their whole basis for this accusation is that this AI posted a song. I saw it on TikTok and I liked it, so I made a lip sync. I also followed the account in case they posted more music I liked. Excuse me for liking an AI song, but that does not prove that we were behind the account. As for the spicy content they allegedly posted, we would never post content like that. Hell, we don't even know how to use AI like that. The most we've done with AI is get a few name ideas for characters in our book. Well, there you go. I finally addressed what everyone wanted me to address. Thank you for boosting our account by nearly 600 followers in a single day. We do appreciate it so very much. Until next time, remember to stay positive and have an amazing day.
And this makes no sense. Her claiming that she doesn't know how to use AI is completely false. They used AI to make a trailer for their book. They've been known to use AI in other methods, and also it wouldn't be that hard to figure out. Now to another whole part of this saga, which is way more problematic, and that is that the big bombshell of a lot of this, again, I believe the Reddit investigators found this out, but Dad has two brothers, David and John, and they are both registered SOs. Look on the screen to know what that means if you don't. Both of his brothers have been actually convicted, are on the SO registry, and their charges included SA of children. at least under the age of 16. I'm not sure if they were like little children, but at least under the age of 16. So both of his brothers are PDF files. I don't know how else to say that. Both of his brothers are PDF files. Patrick has confirmed this himself.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Not really. So, honestly, they're going to say what they want. Half the stuff's not true. The stuff that is partially true is all twisted and made to be worse than it is. Perfect example, they brought up my brother's convictions. Yes, my brothers were convicted as sex offenders. That's their problem, not mine. Okay, yes, I still talk to my brothers. They're my brothers. Hello. I mean, I don't condone their crimes, but you don't abandon family. They pay their price to society. Leave them alone.
Now, this leads a lot of people to believe if 2 out of 3 brothers are both registered SOs, then how is it possible that Patrick isn't one as well? A lot of other people just speculate that that probably means they were raised in a household like that, or that they were copying something that they were taught as a child. Now, again, there's just no proof. If he has never been convicted of anything and there's no proof, I don't care his physical appearance. A lot of people bring that up, which I just think is so heinous. That's so wrong. You cannot tell somebody's intentions based on their appearance through a computer screen. I'm sorry, but that's just BS. Just stop spreading that. That's so wrong. But I do think that it is possible that they were probably raised in a household that was pretty toxic at the very least as well, if 2 of his brothers went on to do this. And I also want to just be very clear that just because somebody was abused as a child does not mean that they will go on to an abuse as an adult. It's actually false that most people go on to be abusers. I didn't actually know this either until the last couple years, but actually most people go on to stop the cycle because they know how much it hurt and traumatized them. So they don't want to do that to others. And so they actually stop the cycle in their adulthood. So most people who were abused do not go on to be abusers. And if that's the case for Patrick, maybe Patrick is not. Maybe he's never done anything that heinous and he's never done anything like that. But perhaps his boundaries are weird. Perhaps because he was raised like that, he thinks that just because he's not doing what his brothers did, literally, he didn't do anything that bad, he thinks that how he treats his family and the weird boundaries that they all cross is not a bad thing. Like, why is that bad if I'm just showing affection to my family and he doesn't understand that what he's doing is wrong? He might, like a lot of people do point out, like he does say really creepy things. He is just a creepy dude by his actions, in my opinion. And it's totally possible he is, but I don't want to just outwardly accuse him of that if we don't have proof. But I do kind of wonder if there is an aspect of, at least I'm not doing what my brothers did here. So even if he does other things that are inappropriate, inherently bad, he's justifying it and minimalizing it in his head because he's like, well, I'm not a convicted felon like my brother, so therefore, you know what I mean? You get it. So that's a whole other piece of this that is just absolutely crazy. And he also, you know, as you saw in that video, he's still in contact with them and stuff. When you have kids, I'm sorry, but if my sibling or anyone in my family was a registered SO, they would not be getting anywhere near my children or my house. They would not know where I live. You can bet on that. Like, you do cut off immediately. So here's my overall thoughts on the dad and daughter dream team accounts. These 2, in my personal opinion, based on the public information available, are surrogate spouses, and you cannot convince me otherwise. There is, at the very least, a serious level of emotional incest here. In spite of me kind of playing devil's advocate a few times, I do actually am worried that the accusations are true, but I just think it's super important to remember that we cannot accuse people of this unless there's proof. I personally believe, allegedly, that Sarah was raised from a very young age to believe that no boundaries and inappropriate physical affection is normal in a family, and that means that her dad is a especially good dad, a better dad than others. Even though their relationship is inappropriate, because in my opinion they haven't actually crossed crossed the line, so to speak, of actual illegal acts. I don't think it has gone that far. Again, I don't think they'd be posting so much. They wouldn't be posting so much evidence. They wouldn't be posting so many things that would make people believe that, if that were true. But because of that, Dad thinks he's doing nothing wrong. As we discussed, abuse is not always overt. It's not always like physically evident, and we just don't know for sure. And therefore, Sarah, from her point of view, is getting defensive because she honestly does not understand what the backlash is. She's saying from her point of view, nothing's wrong and she's happy. And so in my opinion, I think that she is completely the victim in this situation. Now, after watching all that, back to the purity ring thing, if we had seen nothing else of this account, if that is the only video I have ever seen of this dad and daughter, I would straight up think that that was creepy, inappropriate, emotional incest, regardless of the context, regardless of if it was them or anybody else. In any other in any context, I think purity rings are inherently creepy, inherently controlling, and inherently emotional incesty. Parent giving their kid a purity ring, again, not just in this case, but in any case, is telling your child that I control your body. I control when and if you get to take part in a very natural part of the human experience. That purity ring is saying, I control that and you don't. And it feels very much like he has manipulated her into thinking that they're kind of temporary surrogate spouses for each other until she gets married, which I'm terrified for, because when she does eventually get married, he's going to be quite the father-in-law. But I personally think Dad is creepy for this alone. Even if none of the other videos existed, Dad is inappropriate, Dad is creepy, Dad is controlling. One last piece of this whole puzzle is that's not really related to the inappropriate behavior, but I do think it's important and interesting to see in this context. They have also been racist. So Dad was straight up caught on video saying the N-word. You can find it with the audio online. Obviously, I can't play that word here, but I have heard it. He straight up said the slur very casually. Sarah was also caught using a racist phrase when she said she was, this is a quote, I would never say this, but when she said that she was free, white, and 21. She says that she didn't know that this was a racist term, but if you don't know, the meaning behind that term literally means you're white, aka you're not black, aka you're not a slave. You're 21, so you're not having to abide by the legal restrictions of drinking and smoking and, you know, going to clubs and all that. And then you're therefore free. Like, that's kind of the meaning behind the phrase. My understanding is that I can do whatever I want. I am free, white, and 21. It's just straight up a racist phrase. Now, Sarah claims she didn't know that it was a racist phrase, which I actually believe, because I think she's incredibly ignorant, because she's been in this bubble with her family and only knows what she's been taught. But she literally, when she addresses this is her retort.
That's a saying I've heard from many people in my life that just means I make my own decisions. I never even considered that it could be interpreted that way, nor did I know the true origins of the phrase. If people took it that way, I apologize. I am definitely not racist. I don't see color. I never have. All of us are created in God's image regardless of race.
Like, girl, saying that is racist in itself. Are you serious? And again, I don't think she knows any better. If her father is throwing around the N-word as casually as he does, I honestly don't think she knows any better. Again, it doesn't make it okay. I'm not saying that, but like, I honestly think that she's in a bubble of information. And then in that same clip, she says something biphobic, so trigger warning for that.
Also, to the creators getting spoon-fed lies, I have never been in a relationship with a woman, and I am not bisexual. There's nothing wrong with anyone that chooses that path. That's their choice, but it's not me.
Again, girl, it is so biphobic to imply that sexual orientation is a choice and not something that you're born with. Okay, and then the last thing I want to talk about for this account is a little bit of nuance. So are we wrong in the sense that, is this a double standard? So a lot of people ask the question, are we judging because Dad is a little awkward looking? I generally don't talk negatively about people's appearance ever. I think it's irrelevant, but in this case, it is kind of relevant. So think if Patrick were super hot, if he was tall, muscular, super hot dad that like everybody thirsted over and everything, and he was doing the same stuff with his daughter, would we all not blink twice? Would we all not think twice about it? Would we think it's cute? Is it just because Patrick looks, quote, creepy to some people that it's making this so much worse? The answer for me is no. If a really hot dad was treating his young daughter like this, I would think the exact same way. The purity ring, regardless, exactly the same, doesn't change a thing. I think that this is just an inappropriate relationship. So then the other question, what about if this was mother and son? What if this was a mother doing these dances with her son and touching her son like that? Is this a double standard of the gender because older men are more stereotyped for being creepy? And again, I say absolutely not. If a mom was hugging her son like this, rubbing his neck, being all touchy-feely, singing romantic songs with him, I would still find that creepy. And that's not just me. There's been this whole revolution of the boy mom thing and the boy mom discussion talking about how weird and emotionally incestuous these moms are getting with their sons and how they want to go to prom with them and how it, you know, giving like, I am not emotionally fulfilled in my marriage, so I am trying to find that emotional fulfillment in my son because he, you know, loves me. So I don't think that's it either. I think we have blatantly called out moms for also being in a similar situation, crossing boundaries with their sons. In a few years down the line, I would not be surprised if Sarah came out with a new perspective. I feel like she needs friends outside of her family and maybe a boyfriend outside of her family who can give her perspective, and she can go see their families and how their families interact, and they can come to her house, and if they see her, they can be like, yo, this is really, really weird. I believe since we're all haters, she's never gonna believe us or listen to us. People are also concerned about mom. Like, what's her role in this? She seems really blissfully unaware of anything going on, which is really freaking people out. Just red flags everywhere. I just want to tell everybody, don't engage with them, please. Do not leave them comments. Do not leave them hate. Just leave them alone, you know, because it's just not going to help the situation. It's just not. In fact, it might make it worse because they see us as, quote, trolls. And even though we think it's genuine concern, but the more trolls there are, that's just going to push Sarah further into her dad's sphere. That's just going to make us and us against them. We're evil. We're the bad guys. And dad is reassuring her and he's affectionate and he loves her and stuff. And so it's just going to make it worse. It's just going to make her less likely to go out and explore the world. And that's what we really want. So just please don't interact with them. And with that, if you guys want to join the Patreon, we're doing the kink fetish iceberg over there is what I'm working on. It's something that has to be age restricted and I can't post it over here on my other channel, but people are really enjoying that. The first 3 parts are already out. So if you would like, the link for my Patreon will be down below, and there's lots of other perks in there as well. I'm wearing the Camping Cryptid merch today. We have that available, plus all the other merch available. Thank you again to Pair Eyewear for sponsoring today's video, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Thank you to all the patrons on the screen right now. Special shout out to our newest alien top tiers, which is Ash Clark or Ashy Cakes, Jessica Lutz, Shrek's Trash, and Dark Flame Master. Thank you guys all so much for not only joining the Patreon, but joining at the alien tier. I appreciate you all so much. And see y'all in the next one. Okay, bye.
That all these haters, all these people coming after us, all these creators creating content are nothing more than jealous or trying to push us off the internet.
You can make your little videos. You can talk about your little shit all you want.
And as you said, you just don't give a fuck.